When I said in episode 1 discussion that Dune Prophecy series is going more in science fiction path and less of mystical and prophetic path, well, scratch all that out because in episode 2 they have gone completely prophetic. Hello everybody, welcome to Tanu Cine Bites. Today we're discussing episode 2 from Dune Prophecy, the new series. I felt like this episode should be called Dwell Roles, Dwell Plays, Double Plays, because you can see everybody is doing two things at a time, including a murder, two murders that happened in the very ending of the first episode. Episode 2 is starting exactly where episode 1 ended, where the two murders have taken place, and we see the murder of the 10-year-old child, Pritchett Richesi. Sorry, I have a fever. But we do not see who is the reason for murder of Sister Kasha. However, both died in the same way, so we are assuming and we believe this is because of Desmond Hart. How is he doing it is still a mystery for us. And we find a new character, a soup doctor called Nazir, coming in to check what happened to Kasha. Now we find out from the interactions that Dr. Nazir, she is a soup doctor as well as a sister. So again, we're seeing someone who's playing a double role. So who are the soup doctors? Let me give you a brief understanding about them. So they are people who have been trained in the field of medicine to be doctors. However, they are mentally conditioned, so they are always, soup doctors are trained and used by the big families, the noble houses, to be treated, but they are given full confidence and they're given like a lot of respect and priority because they feel like soup doctors can never be manipulated and they will always work for the greater good of the noble family that they're living in. The one exception to this was what we saw in Dune movie 1, which is Dr. Yue, who betrayed Jessica and Paul and Duke later. But we can see that just 30 years or 40 years into the sisterhood, there's already sisters in training in the souk to become souk doctors, and there are sisters in training to be princes. So really you can see sisterhood is broadening its roots into every part of the galaxy in whichever way possible. Something I felt surprised from in the show is how the Duke Richesi's daughter is constantly eyeing the bastard of the emperor, and they get into an intimate scene and they go into an elaborate intimate scene, and I kept wondering, is it because it's HBO or is there something we can understand from this? I have a feeling that she is a sister as well, because she talks about her past and how she has no feelings for her dead brother and how she was kept away in another planet, but she doesn't reveal too much. And from that interaction we see she's extracting a lot of information from this son of the emperor, but he's not giving any information back. So I have a strong feeling she is a sister as well, and she's playing a double role. When I talk about the interaction between the Reverend Mother Valia and Desmond Hart, I get this feeling like Desmond Hart speaks almost in a very mechanical way. The actor Travis Fimmel, that's his name, he has this very similar peculiarity kind of way of style of talking. He had the same thing in the Vikings as well. So I don't know if this is part of his personality or is he trying to bring this into the character. I'm actually not that sure about it. However, the way he speaks and the way he like holds his brain like this while he was like burning the child, all of this gives a feeling like he is not himself. And I know there's a lot of theory going on that he is actually half machine, half human. I don't know how to even say those words. But like, there's a lot of rumors going around and people theorizing that he could be Chilaxu, which is like a human that has been brought back to life with latest technology. So you could say he's part robot, part human. So there's a theory that this is what's happening, and I personally am leaning towards that theory. I believe that is where the direction is going. The actress who plays Sister Valia, I have a problem with this actress. I don't feel she has this empowering nature of a mother superior, or she's very intimidating in the way she's speaking. She tries to decipher from Desmond Hart what is the truth. She does this like laka 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 kind of some weird techniques to understand if he's speaking the truth, and she believes he's speaking the truth. What we understand is that the emperor and his wife are seeing that this man could be used for their advantage, which is a great thing. So the biggest highlight of this episode for me was when Valia and Tula decided to use this acolyte named Lila, who is the great-great-granddaughter of Mother Rakela. They decided to give her the water of life, something which Tula has created on her own. So she's not taken this from a sandworm yet. So she's prepared it on her own and she gives it to this girl so that she can go back and speak to her great-great-grandmother, understand what was the prophecy Rakela was talking about at the time of her death. The first time we read about this in the book is when Jessica is consuming the water of life and all the memories of her past mothers coming into her and the memories of other reverend mothers coming into her, and how she has to battle it out. There is a reason they say that it is hard for people to survive this, because you have to be extremely trained to actually withstand this kind of barging of these personalities and people into your body or into your mind, and to kind of calm and control it, you need a lot of practice and training. So when they decide to give this to this acolyte Lila, I think they knew it's a suicide attempt, or it's like a death sentence for this child, because she is not trained yet to take it. And so I love the visual representation of how they showed this happens. When she takes it in, the way all her ancestors, her ancient ancestor mothers from the mother's lineage, all barge into her, and her personality or her mentality being in this dark, clouded, endless corridor, just barged in, giving this claustrophobic feeling, was a very good visual presentation of what is going through her in her mind. So I really appreciate the director showing that in such a way, because then we can identify with the struggle this girl is feeling internally. We also understand that the Atreides, who is the sword master, is actually a spy as well, and he's working for the rebellion. We also understand that the girl with the blue eyes, the one from Dune, she is a spy for the rebellion as well as a double agent for the sisterhood. So everybody has double roles in this show, or right now in this episode, which is quite interesting. The least interesting storyline for me at the moment is that of Atreides and the rebellion, because they are not delving into it more deeply. Another reason I don't find the rebellion story quite interesting is because kind of we know the future, and we know this House Corrine is still there for 10,000 years more. So this rebellion really didn't work. Also, I'm thinking when they gave us an intimate scene between the Swordmaster Atreides, House Atreides, and Princess Yenne's, and then she might become a sisterhood, is she capturing the seed of Atreides for herself, and future lineage is coming through that line? I don't know if they have a reason to show us that scene. I'm trying to remember it. And again, when I go back to the intimate scene they showed between the daughter of House Richesi, I don't know the character's name, and the bastard of Corino, again, I really think she is a sister, and so she is capturing his seed to further the lineage for the benefit of the sisterhood. Desmond Hart, there's a lot to talk about him. His character is the most interesting one of the lot right now, and we just cannot understand if he's bullshitting or really he's telling the truth. What is his real agenda? Why has he come out with this agenda to always support the Imperium is a really interesting point right now. Fact that House Corino decides to keep Desmond Hart and to use his strength as an ally for them is showing the strength in House Corino, and probably they might use him even to weed out the rebels that's happening and the rebellion that's happening. At the end of episode 2, we see that Desmond has convinced Corino to get rid of Mother Superior and the use of truth sayers, because Desmond himself can take on this role. And you can see that when Valia tries to use her voice against him, it does not work at all. I don't know if there was any other time when the voice has not worked on someone. So why did it not work on him is really interesting. I'm really curious to know why it didn't work on him. And the fear in her eyes, because she is totally losing grip. Already the queen was not in favor of using the sisterhood for their families, and the fact that they have used Desmond, now they are replacing her with Desmond. Is this going to have a huge shift? I'm very curious to know how the politics will play out, because again, we are very much aware of what happens in the future and how the Bene Gesserit is like extremely well established in the galaxy and in the universe 10,000 years later. So it's not possible that the sisterhood got wiped out. So what is the manipulation and the politics that the sisterhood had to play to still be in power and to keep their legacy going forward is something I'm very curious about. Two things are really something I'm looking forward to. One is actress Tabu. I know she's going to play Sister Francesca. We saw in episode 1 how Tula, Valia, Sister Kasha and Francesca are the 4 people who knew about the death of Dorothea, and now in episode 2 Kasha is dead. Tula and Valia are still alive, and I'm sure Francesca will play an important role, which is played by Tabu. So I'm very excited for Tabu to come into the scene, and I hope she has a good strong role. Second thing, which is related to the books, okay? So it was the sisterhood actually that spread the story in Dune, Arrakis, of a mother and son coming with extreme big abilities, and they will come and save the planet Arrakis. I wonder if we are seeing the seed of that storyline in this season, and whether Desmond Hart and Valia will have a role to play. So that's it, guys. That's my discussions for episode 2. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments below. And are you watching this? Are you interested in this episode? I like the pacing. I like how fast they're always going. And so when episode 3 comes out, we'll have another discussion. Make sure you follow and subscribe to my channel and press the like button if you like to see more discussions like this for every episodes from multiple series. Until then, take care. Ciao, ciao.